welcome back to another Dude Actually podcast. We have a very special guest today, so let's get right into the intro. We cannot wait to hear from this guy. We have the one and only Addy the Falcon Herman on the cast this evening.
Hey, thanks, fellas. I appreciate that nickname. Didn't know it was an active nickname. But...
Dude, it actually, like, as soon as I said it on stage and he reinforced it on his set the next time that he was up, I was like, it's there now. It's there forever now, dude.
So you came up with the Falcon concept.
Just on the spot. Like, I walked up there and I wanted something, like, funny, like WWE kind of thing to, like, announce and say, like get you guys some claps, and I couldn't think of anything for Randall. I felt kind of bad. But, yeah, I don't know why it popped into my head. You're just like, the Falcon, dude. It's fucking... like a peregrine, the fastest bird in the world, dude.
Sure.
Dive bomb. You know they dive bomb at 280 miles an hour?
Man.
That's no shit.
That's
a falcon dive bombs, and it usually kills its prey just by impact alone.
It's got that sharp beak, right?
That's you, dude.
Yeah, that's me. I'll tell you what, now my everybody else in my family, they deserve the name of Falcons because I got the only decent nose in the family. Everybody else has a real beak on them.
Dude,
like my little sister, the Falcon, for sure.
Hell yeah.
You should see her.
Dude.
Hell yeah. Before we get too into it, as always, the sponsor, the podcast is sponsored by THC Dispensary. Today we might fuck around and do a little bit more of these watermelon gummies that obliterated me last time.
Yeah, we were. If you see the Patreon for last podcast, you need to see it. We're just basically silently eating ramen and laughing.
Yeah,
it's awesome. But we are smoking on some Diamond OG cake. It's like coated in THCA diamonds. So very excited. Shout out
and
to
as
THC.
always, the sponsor.
Yep,
beer.
Just
official
beer.
Sponsorship. Just beer, not this beer, but beer in general.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to beer.
Fuck yeah, dude. Dude, I guess, yeah. I like, so much of this podcast is just conversing, but, dude, I want to know a little bit more about you, dude. Also, Addy hosts Quick Draw Comedy. We got the man himself that we go to every single week and shout out. He is here, which is awesome.
And he brought us some gifts today. These are exclusive. You'll never see these unless you're in Zachariah's home, or maybe a select few others, but we won't give out any of their information.
Nice.
These are wooden, engraved, burned coasters, dude. These are fucking... And then we got some stickers, dude. Shout out Quick Draw Comedy. Shout out to Addy if you're watching. Addy the Falcon.
Shouts out to Addy the Falcon.
Hell yeah.
Looking forward to seeing this in action. Those coasters and all the merch we have was created by Ashley, my producer's wife. Go support her at Tightly Wound Knitwit. She does a lot of crafts and great production.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The crew neck is very comfy.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
He didn't take it off for like
a week
straight. Every time he saw me, he's like, why aren't you wearing your Quick Draw?
So how many stains are on that one?
A surprisingly low amount. It was more the musk.
Okay.
The musk built up. But that's comedy. It built up the comedy musk. I got funnier the more I wore it.
Yeah, real funny smells coming out.
Yeah, dude.
I'll take it.
If you don't get a laugh, you'll at least get a face.
Yeah.
You know, that's something. You know, bad press is still press.
It is.
It is press, though it is, as they say, bad press.
Some might say.
People say there's no such thing as bad publicity. It's like, I don't believe that at all.
Yeah,
like,
certain levels of publicity can ruin everything for you.
Yeah, we're in the age of cancel culture, dude, which you know all about. Which is a good. It's just, well, I mean, no, not like that. It's just part of the saying for Quick Draw, which is a good transition into like what. Let's start with what is Quick Draw in your mind, in your words, through your eyes.
Quick Draw it's an opportunity. Basically, it stemmed out of Little Rock, Arkansas, back before it was ever a production, before it was ever a podcast. I started in Little Rock, and we didn't have a lot of opportunities to get on stage.
Okay.
So I figured, why don't I maximize our opportunities by allowing people to perform not once but twice a night, and we do a short set, get it over with quick. But basically, it's a way for you to go up, and if you bomb, well, you get another chance. Yeah. And if you kill, well, you got a chance at bombing.
Yeah.
And sometimes the stars align, and you just kill back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, and one, it's 2 minutes. and then you go up, you go through the whole roster of comedians that signed up that night, and then you go back up for another 2 minutes, and you have a short. We've talked about it here on the podcast before. Where you have the short interview. Was the interview part of it when you first started?
No,
or was,
the interview was not part of it until one night I hosted it about a year ago, maybe more than a year. I hosted it, and one person showed up, and that would be Rashad Vaughn.
Okay, yeah.
And
he was on the cast. Y'all know him.
And I was sitting there, and we had a tiny little crowd. There was more people in the crowd than had shown up. And I was like, well, we've got to do something. So after his second set, I just started interviewing him. And it just...
Rashad of all people.
45 minutes we talked. And I was like, he's going to be a regular. Because I can talk to Rashad indefinitely.
Dude, I mean, honestly, same. Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
When I first met him, I didn't think... And when we were going to have him on the podcast, I was like, I don't know him that well. We haven't really, like, sat down and talked. But, I mean...
Doesn't matter.
Dude, you just you give him a rock and a stick and he'll play in the backyard for fucking hours, dude.
Yep, I gave him that rock and stick.
Yeah, you did, dude. So, Arkansas, dude. Born and raised?
Born and raised in Prescott Valley, Arizona.
Okay.
Moved to Arkansas at 18. Did lots of little things over the course of 10 years there. And then started stand-up in Little Rock at 27.
And you said there wasn't a lot of opportunity to get on stage. Like, what does that mean?
Oh,
there's just like a flooded market, or
no, it was
not a scene really for it there.
Yeah, just a complete utter lack of respect for stand-up and the venues. To where here, venues don't really stop doing stand-up. They just have regime changes. Like Emmett's, I'm not the first person who was hosting stand-up shows at Emmett's. Before that, there was No Way, very funny comic. But for years, that mic has been going to where the infrastructure is there. Whereas in Little Rock, you can't really get up more than 2 or 3 times a week. Like we would have, we had a Monday night show, a Tuesday night show, and then we'd have a Saturday night show.
Okay.
But since then, 2 of those nights have gone away. Like the bars have either closed down or they got rid of comedy. So really, the opportunities, that's how Quick Draw came along. Because I was like, well, let's double up our chances of getting on stage.
Yeah.
And then the interview and everything, that just kind of came about because, people just, they got hooked on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, here at least, I didn't know that there was really a comedy scene because I don't know if I'm just not involved in those groups or whatever. Like, I love stand-up comedy, but to me, I wasn't going to go to the Funny Bone every Friday to go see, somebody that just came into town and stuff. Like, there's just other things going on, and I don't know. Quick Draw on Tuesday, I mean, not saying I'm like any big deal, but it made me the comedian I am currently, and before that I was not a comedian at all, and now it's like I'm comfortable with going up. Yeah. I'm comfortable with being in that writing mindset, and there would have been no way I would have done that as quickly. I mean, it would have been a year.
Dude.
Actually. And that anxiety, I mean, it wells.
Fuck!
He said it!
Was that on purpose?
No, that's why it's called Dude Actually, is because Zach says it all the time. And one day I pointed it out to him. I was like, one of your Zach-isms is that you go, dude, actually? Yeah. Like, if he's trying something for the first time, he'll be like, dude, actually? And he'll always wag his finger. Actually? And he's like, do I really? He's like, I don't think I do that. I'm like, you do that all the time.
And then I caught myself 5 minutes later.
Yeah, he caught himself.
I was like, let's do that as the name of the podcast.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful opportunity because Zach and I are new to this whole thing. And I mean, if we would have just done, because we reached out to Jim. If we would have just done gym shows, we would have gone up and bombed every gym show that we ever played. And actually, 100%. Our gym shows have been like probably our best shows because we do anytime I have a new joke, I try and bring it to Quick Draw the next week. Cool. And I try to come with at least one new joke. And then I'll add that and like season out. I like to have 5, in my back pocket. Mm-hmm. And some I'm like, that one's not very good. But this one did really well at Quick Draw. And what I love about it is that so many people in the stand are comedians. So like, if you get a laugh, like maybe keep that, Like, my Tourette's joke was probably, like, the worst received joke I ever had at Quick Draw. And then I was like, well, I did get, like, one chuckle, so we'll try it out. I did it at a show, and people, like, loved it, you know? And I was like, hell yeah, you know? But it was a bunch of people at a bar. Everyone was drunk, you know? Everyone wanted to, like, laugh. Yeah. And, I mean, I don't think a lot of them were there knowing that there was a comedy show that night, you know? They just showed up to this bar, and they're like, a cover for what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay.
Some guy was having his, like, reception at the bar.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there was, like, a wedding reception.
Yeah, he had his whole, like, wedding party at the bar in VIP.
Was the wife there and everything, too?
Yeah.
Oh, like the Vietnamese crew.
Yeah, the whole
Dude, we looked over, and this guy was, like, on the mic. He's like, before we start, like, you know, everybody congratulate, like, the new fucking wife and stuff. And we looked over, there's, like, 30 Vietnamese people in the corner that no one saw
suits and white dresses.
Suits we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, full ready. And we just were. I was just talking about fucking. Hold on.
Dude, actually.
Oh, dude. It's my joke. It's my joke.
I'm trying to remember one of your jokes.
Fucking. Like, I'm just up there talking about the extinct pussy. The name of it.
Pussy.
The extinct. What is it? The
beaks?
No, I'm talking about, like, I used to fuck blank pussy, like wild pussy. I forget.
Endangered
pussy. That was it.
Write that one down.
I did. It's written down.
Take out a notebook and write down the word endangered.
I should write it.
Write down the word that always messes you up with your joke.
Yeah,
like this is the first time I've messed that up ever. I just forgot the word existed.
You don't very often forget words.
It's ironic that you forgot the word endangered.
Yeah.
Dude, my fucking brain is endangered.
Nearly extinct for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So you're hanging out with the Vietnamese.
Yeah, continue, Reese.
I wonder how clean their tape
was. Well, I don't. I wasn't.
Dude,
you're the one talking. You tell me to continue.
This is like an episode of Quick Draw. Now that I think about it, I'll start bringing both you up.
At
the same time.
What I meant to say is, the Quick Draw to me feels like a hyperbolic time chamber, like Dragon Ball Z. Literally, like for comedy, from beginning to now. I mean, you saw when I went up the very first time in a fucking high vis jacket and a flute.
You did. You had a flute with you.
I had a Papa John's coupon.
The whole time you were up there.
To them what your first set was like?
No, actually. It
was pretty funny.
Yeah, I went up. It was my second time ever doing comedy. I did it once at the bar, the first ever gym bar that we went to, Beach House.
And my mom randomly showed up.
Yeah, and I totally...
Dude, I told her at work, I was like, yeah, I'm doing this thing. She's like, oh, I'll show up. I'm like, no, don't do that. You know? And I told her, don't do that. She's like, okay. And she showed up anyway.
Nice.
She's like,
with the whole family.
With my aunt, my sister, my brother. I was like, fuck. Dude.
And they were the only ones in the crowd, and I froze on stage, and I've never frozen before. Yeah,
well, I've known Zach for 12 years, so he's like, oh, Reese's mom and aunt and me, like
something just took over. Family. But so then Quick Draw, that was the second time ever, and I'm like, I'm prepped. And I wore a high-vis jacket. I had a Papa John's coupon in my mouth.
What a high-vis jacket is today.
So, you know the construction jackets that you can see really, really bright whenever light shines on it, so you don't run them over?
Yeah.
I wore that.
The jacket that gets you into anything or anywhere.
Yeah, any security position.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That's why I wanted to keep it.
Yeah.
That and a walkie. No one's ever going to be like, wait, you know?
Yeah, so it was an orange full-length jacket. It wasn't a vest.
It was actually modular.
Yeah, I could rip it nice off. Jacket.
Yeah, it was $30. So you could like take off the fucking padding here, or like the side stuff, and make it just a vest.
And correct me if I'm wrong. It was orange, but it also had reflective like metal on it too.
It's here. Dude.
Honestly,
I can smell it
when you.
You probably can,
like,
honestly.
It smells like extinction.
Fuck off.
Dude, yeah. So, yeah, that was... That, honestly, when you become a headliner, I think you can wear that jacket. That'll be like your Eddie Murphy Delirious jacket.
Fuck yeah.
Like,
I liked the flute. I actually wish that you would have brought the recorder back. Because, like, you randomly turned around, and I thought it was really funny, but I also, like, know your personality really well, so...
My delivery just wasn't...
The delivery wasn't great, but you could have been, like... You could have said anything, like... And it just sounded like... And obviously it wouldn't have sounded like a recorder, but if you turn around and play a recorder that came out of fucking nowhere that no one saw on you, like, that's just kind of funny, dude.
I honestly I thought you had done stand-up more than once.
No.
So take that for what it's worth.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was both of our second times ever in that way.
I thought you guys had been doing it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that
No,
means
he
a
had
lot
reached
coming
out
to you.
I don't know if we
Coming
told
from
you this or if you know this, but he
Coming
had
on me.
reached out to Jim because we do a lot of EDM and like production,
this is
like
our
all
whole
of our
studio
stuff.
Oh,
behind us.
shit.
Prior to now, all of our stuff
Man, I
has
didn't know you guys were so cool.
has
Dude,
been
we got-
music.
Yeah, this is all of our like
Oh,
that's my
shit.
DJ deck. Our
God
whole
damn.
Yeah.
this is where we've produced our whole album. That's our album up there on the wall, Wire
Wow. Oh, you guys got to get some of this stuff featured. Well, I guess it is on these walls.
Well, it is. Yeah, the Boss Puss. That's
Yeah,
our
this
old
is our-
name. Like
yeah,
Buss,
Boss
like
Puss.
Boy Puss.
Oh,
You know?
I was
Yeah.
wondering what
Boss
that was.
Buss. Yeah.
Boy Buss.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
like the
Or
boss
Buss.
of Buss.
Yeah,
you
we are
know?
the
Boss
boss.
of Buss.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now we go by Dude actually on both sides of it now. 'cause
Yeah.
It makes
people
it so
fucked
much
it up
easier.
a lot. They're like, oh, okay, Boss,
Boss
Boys,
Bus.
or like Boss Bus,
Bus,
or like yeah.
Boss Boost.
Oh, yeah. That's
And
a
it's like,
Drunk person's nightmare. When
Yeah.
you got right there.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Boss
It's every host. Every host couldn't say it.
But
we were
so-
Boss Bus, and then Bus Boys is our rap group.
So Zach messages because Zach's girlfriend, goes, well, you know, I know this guy that used to go to this gym with me, and he does like radio and stuff. And Zach was like, hell yeah, I mean, let's try and get it. And he has a great voice, you know, like a great talking voice. And I've always told him that. And so she messaged on his behalf about radio stuff. And he was like, I don't really do that anymore. I do comedy very poorly, I might add, not him. But
He might add.
Yeah, and so he didn't even
Yeah.
he messaged Em and was like, well, do they do comedy? And Em was like, I don't know, he's asking, and he was like, yes we do.
Yeah, I just said that
and
we
she's
were
like, are they
comedians.
good? Okay, well, we'll book him. And he'd never met us, and he's like, all right, we'll put him on a show, but I need him to like do a couple open mics beforehand. And I was like, well, that's good. We probably definitely should do a couple open
Yeah.
mics.
Yeah, you want to warm up.
Yeah, you know. And so that's why, I mean, he told us about Tuesday.
Well, what happened? The crazy part is we went on Beach House that Thursday, and then Jim was like, "Hey, there's a mic tonight at Emmett's Tavern. Seems like it'll be a good mic." And then a few hours before the show, he was like, "Hey, so this one's actually change of plans. It's a bit different. I think you go up 2 times in like maybe I don't know."
And then he said something about like it's like a versus.
Yeah,
or
it's like a
battle.
versus, like,
you.
competition.
And I was like, well, fuck, I'm not even a comedian. I'm supposed to go up
We
against
didn't even
another.
know
comedian.
where we were going basically, or what we were doing at all.
At all.
And
we
then Quick
walked
Draw
in
started.
having weird ass expectations. of
Yeah,
what Quick Draw
I could
was.
tell a real nervousness in the air. I was like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people over there who don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
No, we had no clue. But the moment it started, that was like the fucking immediately my favorite place to go in all of Omaha. Like that's
Oh,
my
thank
favorite
you,
thing to
dude.
do every
That's-
week, dude.
That's my homeroom. Yeah, I love it.
Well, we've done Taco Tuesday for over a year now. Every Tuesday, we all get together. We eat tacos. If it's like a dine-in place, that's just the only thing we do. If it's a takeout, we grab it, go back to my place, watch something. You know, and that's our new Tuesday routine now is Quick Draw. I go and get cheap tacos from De Leon's, 99-cent tacos. I get like 8 of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And then go do comedy, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Our crew's getting
there's
bigger and
nowhere better to be on a Tuesday
So
in Omaha.
you'll smash 8 tacos before doing stand-up?
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
got, like,
and then
a
there's
second
actually
stomach.
there's
Yeah.
actually been a couple times where after I got this is like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I grabbed like 8 tacos before the show, smashed them. I think aside from like one because it had gotten like real soggy by that point. I was like,
I
oh,
bet.
it's not- and then we left comedy. And I was like, dude, I might. And we stopped by the same De Leon's by my house. I grabbed 5 tacos, bashed them, dude. I was like, I didn't want to think about how much like shit quality ground beef I'd eaten that day. But
Yeah.
dude, I'm an eater. Most people don't like realize at all.
I'm
'cause
sure you
skinny,
are.
you know.
Most of the tall, skinny guys are eaters.
Dude, it's
I'm also an eater, but
Yeah.
I'm not the tall, skinny guy.
dude, it's a problem. He calls them my lowers. Like we used to do
Your
all you can
lowers?
eat.
He's got a
sushi
lower
lot.
stomach. He's
And-
got like a
yeah,
lower
you have a
section.
lower
It's like
stomach?
a hidden stomach is what he
you tuck
says.
it under your pants?
So he'll be like
Or wait, are we talking inside of you?
inside
Oh,
of
Yeah,
it.
like inside.
No,
thought
so
you-
he'll be like, dude, you need to like, you need to
Crazy.
access your lowers. You need to open your lowers. Like, if there's too much sushi and we have to pay $1 extra a roll, he'll be like, dude, I need you right now. Like,
Yeah,
open
like,
your lowers.
you
Like,
open
as
your
if I have a
lowers.
second.
He's got like a different
that I can be like, give
different
me a
pocket
second,
dimension
like,
in there.
you know, like shift some shit around. I'm like, they're opened, you know.
That's how
But-
it feels like it works.
Yeah,
That's
it,
how it
well, when you
should
tell
work.
me that, like, it invigorates me. Like, I open like a mental set of like
lowers.
real lowers, you know.
Yeah,
like
you're-
it's a placebo effect, you know. It's
Sure,
like-
you get inspired, your boy's motivated by you, and you don't want to let him down.
yeah, surprisingly, I've never thrown up after we've eaten. You've
No, it's
thrown
early.
up a couple times after sushi, but
Yeah,
I've eaten
it's
like
thrown up after
60
sushi?
rolls.
Yeah, I've gone hard. I didn't throw up during the peach crunchies though.
No,
There
you
were these
didn't.
little peach crab rangoons at a place downtown that was called Matsu. That was all you can eat before COVID. And they had it was cute little dumpling shaped like crab rangoon outside, but like peach cream filling on the inside, peach crunchies. And one time I ordered 60 of them.
Didn't get any sushi.
Yeah,
He got
it
all you
came
can
in a
eat
big
peach
bowl.
crunchies.
Seems like a lot of sugar.
I ate them all.
You
There's
ate
a few
all of them?
pictures. Yeah, there's a few pictures of me going,
Yeah,
Dude,
I
I
got
just in a sugar coma.
yeah, dead.
Dude.
it's like nothing behind his eyes.
Dude,
gone,
Summer will
dude.
get those sometimes, man. People will think he's dying, and no, he ate too much tiramisu. One time, a lady that we knew for years, she was like, "You should probably take Summer to the hospital." I was like, "He's taking a nap, relax."
Yeah.
Like, he's bomb.
He's been out for 3.5
That's so
days.
funny, dude.
Yeah.
How do you know Summer?
Oh well, so we're fucking. No, basically, that's funny for you guys. That the camera people don't understand what I'm talking about. He's a 65-year-old man. He just got a haircut. Actually, he looks 48 now.
That's true, because he said he needed to cut his hair for like a
Yeah.
management position at some
Yeah.
food place or something.
Yes, he's
haven't
working
seen
on.
him yet,
He's
though.
in the job market. He's trying to look presentable. Become a corporate sellout.
Wow.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Summer.
He's doing
Gone
the
with the
thing.
wind.
Yeah, no shit. So the way I met Summer. All right. So I was living in Little Rock. He was friends with one of my brother's roommates, and they came home drunk one night from a bar right down the road from my brother's house. And then the story goes, they talked to Summer for 5 minutes, and then they're like, "You should meet our brother Addy." And so then Summer needed help moving from the basement level of his apartment up to like the 3rd floor of the same apartment because it just flooded.
Oh, okay.
It was
fuck.
it was a nightmare.
that sucks.
And so he paid me. I think he paid me in alcohol and marijuana.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of got closer, I guess. We just, started hanging out. I've lived with him twice.
Was he the pushy one? Like, he was the one texting you first, and you'd be like, well, all right.
No, Summer's a businessman, so anything he would do, initially he would, he'd give me some money and stuff. Because he would need something
Wait,
done.
for what?
Something
something
nothing
done.
sexual. No. Nothing overly sexual. I mean, there's always a sexual nature to anything, I'm involved in. But,
Yeah, of course.
but
Falcon.
180 miles an hour right into it, dude.
Dude.
Hell yeah, killing
Into that ass.
But yeah, he'd be like, yeah, I got some money, I need help move. I helped him move twice. That's the thing. I helped him move up to the 3rd floor, and then I helped him move into a van.
Okay.
That he lived in for like a long time. I ended up renovating that van. Basically, I've just been keeping Summer alive for the last 11 years. Now that I think about it, I'm just sort of
That's awesome.
yeah, but of course, like he officiated my wedding with my first wife and shit. Like he was there.
You
It was
were
us
married.
three. I'm still married, actually. I don't know if you guys have heard all those jokes, but they're not untrue. Like
Oh shit.
I'm married. We are not together. We haven't been together for years. Lawyers are really bad, especially during COVID.
Yeah.
They're just like, duh, we need $1,000 more because everybody's got to wear masks.
Yeah.
And like just weird. So I ended up firing them because I paid for the first lawyer. But yeah, so I was married, still am married, going on 9 years now.
Yeah.
I'm just as soon as I get that $1,000, we're finishing this. I got you, Kayla. We're gonna
Yeah.
take care of this. But
Hell yeah.
basically,
And the Cash App link will be right here.
a little fucking
Yeah, like
QR
fucking
code.
let's get Addie's
Yeah, donate to
divorce
Addy.
squared
Yeah,
away.
finish
here
this
and now,
shit.
dude.
Come on.
The Falcon's got to fly free, man.
I gotta
True.
fly, man.
Unchain these wings.
Yeah.
Can't be going 280 with a girl tag to your wrist, dude.
It's impossible.
No, you get slowed down, dude.
The girls
Yeah.
don't fly as fast.
Yeah, women are not aerodynamic.
Yeah.
They were not.
They have bigger beaks.
They do. A bigger beaks, more top heavy. Yeah. Shouts out to ladies. We love women here at the Dude
Yes,
Actually podcast.
yes.
We do
Shout
love
out
ladies.
to women, official sponsor of Dude Actually.
Hell yeah.
Women.
Yeah, no shit, man. You guys are. Well, I wasn't gonna say pussy commanders, but you guys really. You guys roll with a nice crew. You guys, I mean, you always have an entourage with you, which I love having you guys around.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you'll roll in with like 15 people, and I'm like, all right, we got a show now.
Yeah.
It's about to
yeah.
be me and Summer for 45
Well,
minutes.
you know what's funny is what actually like tends to happen is like it seems like our other buddy Zach, who's actually in the room for those of you that can't see behind the camera.
Shouts out to Zach.
He'll like message me on random days, and then I don't know, like it's like we just get messages like where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, what are you doing right now? It's like, oh, we're going to this comedy show. Come on, you know. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not gonna, you know. And that's what I'm saying about Omaha is like, you tell anybody in Omaha there's a free comedy show on a Tuesday at 8:00, they're gonna be there. And that's
Yeah.
what Zach and I were like talking. It's like, how do we get this thing bigger? You know, because advertising is expensive and often doesn't work
doesn't
because
work.
people don't want to be advertised.
Word
to,
of
and they're
mouth
like,
is the
"Fuck you."
best way in Omaha.
It really is, and that's why like it's like I try and tell my friends like, oh, we do this cool thing, and there's nights where we don't go up or like aren't gonna be there because we have other shit that happens or whatever. But like, it's so good to just like. Especially if it's not our show, you know, it's just something
Yeah.
we go and do.
That's
and
a
we're
nice-
like, dude, get over here, you know. It's harder for you because you're like, you should come because I do it, you know.
Yeah.
And it feels disingenuous when you're trying to like corral people in, but
yeah.
genuinely, people would love if more people in Omaha knew about it.
It needs to
love
blow
it,
up,
and that's
like-
why like we've tried
I
to
agree.
mention it as many times as we can on the
You
podcast.
guys are great
because-
about that. Thank you, by the way.
After
Oh,
the first,
dude, thank you, bro. Like it goes both ways. Like
Oh, yeah,
we
man.
feel like there's a place that hosts our fucking ridiculousness on
Mm-hmm.
Tuesdays, and without like, well, with judgment, but not negative judgment. You know,
Nah,
just the
just
right kind of judgment. you know?
assessment.
Yeah, assessment. There it is.
yeah, no. After the second week, we went. Actually, no. I think when did we start the first Dude Actually podcast? Do you know what day that was?
I don't.
Because had we been to
don't.
Quick Draw before we started the cast?
We had never been. No, we started before we started doing comedy.
Oh wait,
in
no,
general,
the
I
first
think, right?
podcast. We were going to that Thursday. It was with Stormy, and that's when we went to Beach House.
Oh,
that was the
so
night
the
we
first-
started comedy. Was the first podcast.
Okay, so it's been like, yeah, because we only have 6 episodes or
But
something. So.
the moment, our second podcast ever, the first night after we went to Quick Draw, I'm like, why is this not fucking huge? Like, why is this not more popular? We need to explode this place. And ever since, it's like, we just gotta grow. Like, we want it to be. You deserve that like big show. Like, it needs to be bigger because it is so not only inspirational but also like so like it feels like a community.
It is a community, yeah.
I laugh my ass off, and even if I'm like made fun of, or we're making fun of each other, or somebody who's not even here, it's like everybody just loves each other. Even if you bomb really hard twice or 4 times or 8 times, and
Just
Shank
keep
exists.
bombing.
I'm kidding.
Shouts out to my boy Shank.
I'm
man.
kidding.
Dude,
Shank.
so many people gave him shit on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm saying this. Is
I felt
never
so
jabbed
bad
at
for him because at one point I look over, like I do one of these,
We love you,
like,
Shank.
and he's just like straight face, just kind of like sitting there right after somebody just harshed on him again. And I was like, man, I think he's getting to that point where he's like, okay, you know, okay, guys. Like,
Em went in on him.
I
like, a
love
lot.
Shank. Like, he's such an individual. I saw a reel.
He
owns it.
Today. He like posted something on his Facebook of him playing mini bowl, and he like did this whole like wind up thing and like fucking and then fucking gutterballed it and then still posted it. And I was like, all right, hell yeah.
Sick,
And
bro.
I just thought like, who filmed this and who are all the friends in the background that you hear going like, oh, you know, it's like who does Shank roll?
He's got a
with,
production
You know?
quality, you know.
I remember our
Team.
first Quick Draw. Shank was there, and he was with a girl.
He was.
Do you remember that Quick Draw?
Oh,
He was,
that's
sit-
right.
And
He
I
was with the
thought,
girl in the front row.
I thought maybe she might be going up, and then he went up because he just looked. I don't know. He was sitting down.
He
and
doesn't
stuff.
look like he's there to do stand.
No, he looked kind of intimidating. To
He
be
looks like
honest.
security.
Like the first, the first time I was in there, I was like, okay, this guy is like a hard ass for sure.
No,
And
he's
then-
a real nice guy.
He
He just
is.
he works out, so he's just like he's like skinny jacked.
He's
you
like
know?
a pit bull. He looks
Yeah.
like a very, very tight-skinned pit bull.
Yeah, I mean he's probably 40 or something.
How old are you, Addy?
I am 30.
You're 30?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, when you said
Oh.
married for 9 years, I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
we got married at 21.
Wait, so you've been doing comedy for 4 years?
I've been doing comedy 3 years.
3 years.
April.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you said
27
27.
I started.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, 27 I started, man. I was so upset when because I used to be a very troubled individual. So I was
Used to be.
I know. No, I used to be a real stinker. I got
Yeah,
to
he used to be a real Zach.
yeah,
Yeah. Stinking that
Same
much.
shirt
wearing
all
the same
weekend.
shirt
New
every
shirt.
day.
It's a new shirt.
fucking Eating Chinese food with no napkins on the table, just fucking going nuts.
Yeah,
Oh, you guys share shirts?
She bought it for me, but she wore it the first night because
That's
I already
nice.
had a shirt.
Hell yeah. It's a, it's a nice. I like the pocket.
It's not real, which sucks.
It's not real.
No, it sucks.
I hate that now.
I know.
then.
I hate it.
That
Can you
pocket.
not? cut it? Does it not have the stitching thing to where you can cut that?
Yeah, it's not hemmed.
I mean,
No, I think it's
there-
one layer.
There's no hemming
Well,
there.
Wait, is there? There's a stitch.
Well, no. I mean, so some shirts they'll have like nice shirts. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. This is
Yeah, you
actually
buy, like, a
one
suit
layer of
vest.
fabric.
That's bullshit.
I know.
I went from
I'm
loving
used
that
to
shirt
girls'
to hating
jeans.
it.
I know. I have disliked this a lot.
Yeah. What is?
I should
this?
make a pocket and sew one in.
Yeah, that young
outside.
Chinese laborer fancied themselves a Leonardo, dude. They were
Yeah.
like- they thought they were doing something there with that fabric
That-
striping.
And that kind of is like what a Chinese knockoff product looks like. Like, have you
Yeah,
ever seen
also,
the
these
guns
sleeves
they
are
make?
really tight.
Yeah,
They, like,
you look
suck me in.
jacked, dude.
Yeah,
Thank you.
honestly,
I feel like Popeye.
I'm about the tight sleeve. Somebody in Oregon once told me, he was like, "Do you just wear tight shirts so that you like just look like bigger?" And I'm like, "Actually, like you just unlocked
You
my
broke my
Don't
personality."
tell anybody that. I'll fucking kill you."
Yeah.
But sorry, go on. We
Game
just
did it.
interrupted the shit out of you.
Oh,
You used to be a
no,
little
I-
stinker.
Yeah, no, I remember at 27, I was like, oh man, I'm totally gonna die at 27, you know. And then at 28, like I was on a podcast, ended up doing like a big show and shit, and I just remember being like 28 and being like, damn it, like now I got to do this forever.
Yeah.
Like, because I was really on a trajectory. I used to drink very heavily before sets. I used to do all kinds of outrageous things. But once comedy basically was just like, yeah, you thought you knew what was going to happen, and now you are on a whole different trajectory.
What brought you to comedy?
Dude, just literally, I didn't know you could do it. Like, I'd seen lots of stand-up. I was raised around comedy as a kid. My parents loved to laugh. But I remember being at a show in Little Rock. We used to have a Thursday night show at this bar. I'm not even going to say their name because they canceled us. Yeah.
Call them the cancel bar.
Yeah, the cancel bar. Fucking...
Cancelers are getting canceled all 2025.
Yeah, we gotta
We're
mix this
canceling
up.
everybody
Get
who
them
cancels people.
Canceled.
But yeah, so there's this stage, and it was just a madhouse in there. It was just full of people. And I'm sitting up on this balcony where you could smoke cigarettes. And I look down, and I see... You guys haven't met Zane, have you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, he's a blind guy.
No.
No.
Okay, yeah. So the guy who started me doing stand-up, his name's Zane Lovelady. He was in Omaha a couple months ago. We did an episode of Quick Draw together.
Oh, okay.
But he's a blind comic, and he walked in there, and he's carrying a speaker and all this shit, and I'm just like, oh, this motherfucker's about to set up on stage. And they set up in there, and then proceed to do a comedy show to this rabble of just drunken Arkansans.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I was like, what? You can do stand-up? Like, you don't have to go to comedy college or, like, the Ministry of Yucks or some shit? Like, basically...
I don't have to have certification that I
Yeah.
show to the
You don't have to
bouncer.
go to like classes and shit.
I thought you had to like go to
a
like
degree.
New York and like blow somebody and then you'd start doing comedy.
Yeah,
or
well,
something.
because it's kind of like acting in that
Honestly.
way, where you're like, well, you have to like get into it for anybody to let you have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm kind of in the same, in a similar boat. Is I grew up on amazing comedians. My dad, not funny at all, had an amazing sense of comedy though. Like
Yeah,
all the
he had
old
good
guys.
taste.
I always forget his name, but he's my favorite comedian ever. George Carlin.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
my favorite comedian ever. He's pretty political and like big idea kind of stuff, but I loved his energy.
Yeah.
And just like his ability to like talk about relevant things, and he was a really smart fucking guy. But,
Very smart.
But he used the median of comedy to capture the attention and the memory of a whole generation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that generation grew up to be more free thinkers because of the comedian that they watched, you
Yeah,
know?
he had a big influence.
Yeah, and I don't know. I always thought that was such a beautiful thing, but I never thought like I'd get into comedy. When I told my mom about our first set, she was like, "That's crazy," because you used to say all the time as a kid that you wanted to be a comedian, and I didn't even remember that, you know. But like as a kid, you know. But that's all I saw on TV all the time.
Yeah.
I'd come home and Ellen DeGeneres was on, and then once that was over, like my dad would flip over to the Colbert Report or whatever it was at the time, you know. And that's just in like middle school, you know. But
Gay. I grew up on Whose Line Is It Anyway and George Lopez.
Whose Line Is It Anyway
from the
is
fucking
one of
streets,
the
dude.
best shows
Yeah,
ever.
we saw
Yeah.
Who's Live.
Fucking love.
Were you
that
there when
show.
we saw Who's Live?
No, but I helped my grandma move out
Oh.
into a new place,
yeah,
into
you
a
couldn't-
retirement home,
yeah,
and
you
she had
couldn't
like
come.
3 channels, and one of them had Whose Line all the time, and I was like, dude,
Oh,
I
nice.
could stay in this retirement home with you if
Not a
you
bad
have the
setup,
channel.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
You got free pills.
She's got this big remote, you know, those like fat ones that have just like the numbers and and
A
she was still
jitterbug.
having problems with it. She left me a voicemail the other day, and she was like, I can't get the TV to turn off, and I saw the voicemail like 2 days later. And I kind of wondered if the TV was
She's been
on.
sitting there with her TV on for 2 days, dude. Just
Like all my other family members have voicemails they haven't seen.
You should check on your grandma, dude.
So I finally called her and made sure. But yeah, so why Omaha? So you're in Arkansas,
Yeah.
and
So-
what was there a moment that you were like, I'm going to Omaha, or was it just a moment where you're like, I'm gonna leave? This isn't cutting it.
As crazy as it's gonna sound, Omaha called me.
Yeah.
I was working for another company.
They couldn't turn off their TV.
They could have gone. Hey, will you come out here and show us what stand up is?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, poor kids. But
Will you
yeah,
please do something revolutionary for
Yeah.
our town.
will you please give attention to people who actually do stand up?
Shank needs the stage.
Shank needs this.
Dude,
bro.
his first time was
Yeah.
when we went for the first time.
Who? Shank's first
Yeah,
time?
well, he said first time in Omaha. Maybe I was wrong.
No, I've seen Shank do stand up before that.
Oh shit! That
Sorry,
liar.
Shank. I
That
saw you
liar.
at Dubliner. I called him John Malkovich at Dubliner.
Nice. He
He's
is,
like,
Somebody's
I've
called
heard
him
that a
that.
lot.
he is
Somebody's
John
called him
Malkovich.
that recently. I heard somebody call him John Malkovich.
He looks like an in shape John Malkovich.
Yeah, super
But-
in shape.
Okay,
dude.
sorry, I'm
Nerves.
rambling. So,
We all are.
what are we talking about? Fucking stand up.
Coming to Omaha.
Oh,
Yeah,
coming to Omaha. Okay. So I'm in Little Rock. I worked for a company, and I wanted to transfer because I knew stand up was starting to get serious, and I was getting to a point to where Little Rock was too small for what I needed. I was like, I need to get up every time, like every night a week if I can, like basically. And I guess I looked into properties that I could transfer through my job because, it's a big company nationally. And one of the locations was Omaha. And I was like, well, shit, there's like 1 million people in the metro. It's Midwestern. I've always wanted to see the Midwest. My mom is from Iowa.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
Same state.
yeah, and now I'm closer to her, actually. Well, actually, no, we're about the same distance. But sorry, Mom, you're not going to watch this either. But yeah.
Yeah.
But
Our 3
Let's see.
viewers are gonna fucking echo.
they're gonna
they're
send
gonna-
it to my
they will
mom.
somewhere.
She'd have a heart attack. But so I saw a city that was, big enough, and I basically said, "All right, Summer." We were living together at the time then. I said, "All right, let's travel out here. Let's see what's going on." I came out here, and in 3 days, I fell in love with the crowds and the rooms. I did Emmett's the first night I was here.
Yeah.
I did Dubliner and I did Backline. And at the end of that night, I was like, yeah, we're going to move here.
Nice.
And then, 6 months later, well, no, 7 months later, we moved here. And honestly, it's one of those things where, everybody on both sides in Little Rock and then here, they'd be like, oh, well, why are you moving to Omaha? Like, they both would ask me that, and I'm like, literally for the comedy.
Yeah.
Like, people are so spoiled here, they don't understand how good these crowds are.
No.
Yeah.
Until we had no idea at all. We just never been to any shows. Like,
I'll tell you this, man. I tried my hand at music in Oregon, and it's the same way there. Because I grew weed for a long time in Oregon, and dude, I stopped doing any of my creative stuff entirely because 4 or 5 little events and things that I did all went like tragically,
Oh
like
my God.
near tragically.
How do you bomb, doing
Well,
music?
so like, I mean, for one, it just seemed like nobody fucking gave a shit that I was there. That was the common
you were
theme
DJing?
at that time. Yes, my boss had a set of mini, what were they? They were like Ionos or some shit.
wait, you
like
DJ'd in Oregon?
like 3 or 4 times with all of my boss's shit, like his laptop, because his son. Did I ever tell you about his son that was like crazy with all the? He was fucking. He was
What was he
insane.
crazy with?
He was just, I thought there was one over here. You know kendama?
No.
It's the ball and the man. I
The
know
ball
you
and the spike. It's there's a blue one back there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Got some kendama lying
Yeah.
around
So, you ever seen this?
here? Oh, and
so
you
like
catch
people.
it?
Yeah, so you let the whole thing. Fuck, man.
Somebody's
That
gonna
one's
get
really
hit.
tough.
So like
That one's Riley's.
The trick is for me to like do it with the knees, so your head follows, so it's easier to
Oh.
like But it's hard for me to even
can
just
do
catch it with
crazy
the cup. But
tricks.
this kid would fucking like fucking
Just go
30
crazy.
fucking
Yeah,
things
do
and
a
boom.
whirlwind.
This is like a space needle or a spike or whatever. It's the hardest one to get. Is
I
the
bet,
tiny hole.
yeah.
He would do some crazy shit under the leg, fucking pop, and then just like.
You guys should bring
spike
him on
it.
the podcast.
Oh, he lives in Oregon. And he's fucking.
We should get him on Quick Draw sometime.
Dude, that'd be
come out and
and
do a set.
What's
yeah,
crazy
do it to
is I
Randall's
was like-
music. That'd
Yeah,
be
dude.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know why my ego kicked in around him because he was like 15, But I was like, oh, fuck this guy for being so good at all these things,
Yeah,
I
that'll
saw him
happen.
on Kendama and immediately I was like, well, but I'm pretty good at shit. And if he does some shit I don't care about, then whatever. And they had a trampoline in their backyard. He was fucking crazy at it. I love drumming. They had a drum kit at their house. He was fucking way better than me at drumming. He was just better than me in any way.
Dude.
And then he was just, he crushed it at life. And so he
Yeah.
just happened to have some of the fucking music shit around.
Yeah.
But I mean, I even did a small show where I sang, which is like my biggest thing.
Yeah, you're a
is, like,
singer too?
That's my that's how
Yeah,
I
we did
started
show
in
choir.
all of this.
Wow.
We both did show choir and
My
theater all through high
whole-
school.
Is that how y'all met each other?
No. Well, when you asked me how I met my best friend on Quick Draw, it's
Yeah.
when I gave him a plug and he shoved it through his ear and came out of Spanish class like with blood all over.
He
his
told me
face.
straight up. He was like giving me
blew
some
your ear
sizes.
Well, he
Not
had a,
technically,
you
but I
had a-
ripped the
He had like a
fuck out of it.
16 gauge, like he had a regular
Little
piercing
one.
in it,
Yeah.
and
And
then
he
he
gave me
put
a-
an 8.
Yeah,
That's a big,
huge
taper.
jump. He told me
Yeah.
straight up, like, I don't have the other sizes, so you'll probably want to go buy them.
You're so gnarly.
I can't go. Like, at this time, I'm hiding
were
them from my
14.
mom.
We're
I would
14.
come home with a beanie, like, just perfectly covering, because I knew she
the
fucking
summer.
hated it. And so I can't go and buy these sizes. He's like, you'll have to just go get them. I'm like, I don't have a car. I'm fucking 14 years
He
old.
didn't say
I'm
that
gonna
at
have to
all.
have
He
them."
just went,
Yeah,
okay,
so I just
cool.
go, oh, okay, yeah, all right.
then he came
I was
out of
like,
Spanish
in my
class.
head, I'm like, yeah, no way I'm doing that. Fucking take an hour, 45 minutes in Spanish to like push them through all the way. I'm like
Oh my
using my spit and
God.
shit. I'm like lacing. It was fucked.
Yeah,
dude.
he
It
had
was
blood
fucked.
dripping
And I
from
come
it.
out and I'm like, dude. And he
You're
goes,
in class?
oh, yeah.
So you're just bleeding
Oh,
over the
yeah,
desk
dude.
and
And
whatnot.
I like
you
got
can't
up.
push those through slowly.
I got up in class at one point. And I grabbed like 2 tissues. And I just like am sitting in class like this, and then just like alternating which like earlobe I'm like
Soaking your
like
ears.
soaking the blood
Dude,
into.
yeah.
And yeah, I get out. I'm like, yo, and he goes, dude, like, dude, actually, yeah. He's like, don't do that.
You need a hospital.
I was-
bro.
Yeah. Like, dude, it looked like
then
a
we played
fucking
Minecraft ever
dude. It
since.
looked like my asshole got
That's all we did
fucking
after.
gangbanged or some shit.
Yeah.
Like it's just fucking red
like
and
a
swollen
prolapse
hole.
there,
You
dude.
had him
yeah,
in.
dude.
You had him in Batman plugs.
Yeah.
Batman
It was
plugs?
a set of Batman plugs.
Dude.
After that, the ones that I bled were the greens that you gave me. They were green tapers.
You put in. I thought you shoved the Batman plugs through your ears.
That's
before
what I had
Spanish
in
class.
before that.
So what are those?
Okay,
three?
then you.
These are what are these? These
Those
are 5,
are
7.
No, those are either 5, 8. They're the one after half inch.
Yeah.
5
9
eighths.
16ths.
9/16.
yeah,
No,
because then it
9/16 was my last size.
Okay, so then you'd be, I think 5 8.
I think 5
Yeah.
eighths. Yeah.
Which is 10 16ths. So yes, that rounds down to 5 8. Yep.
This guy's good.
Dude, I'm a stockbroker. I got crunch the numbers. Yeah,
And you-
yeah.
you
I do it
write-
in my sleep.
You do
Yeah, I do comedy in
your
my sleep. Every time I go to Quick Draw, I'm sleeping.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Any-
that's
He
why
just
he
puppets
comes
me.
with us.
Yeah,
'Cause
he
we kind of
puppets.
like chaperone him
Do you
into the
guys-
room.
Have
and-
you guys got to the point where you get stand-up dreams yet?
No.
Oh, wait till that happens.
I have old job dreams.
Fuck.
a
Are they
lot.
good or are they just weird?
I bomb every time.
Oh,
Really?
no.
I'm just bombing for 8 hours straight in my dreams, dude.
That's.
And then I'll wake up and be like, okay, it's gonna be all right.
It couldn't be worse than that.
Yeah,
you know.
it's always like I'm in a giant arena and there's like seating for 10,000 and there's about 100 people in there that are just like talking.
yeah.
That's 8 hours of that. That's my comedy dreams.
Oh my god, dude.
Dude, I used to be a little bit. I used to be a
You'll
little
get
bit
there, buddy,
more
don't you
of
worry.
like an unhinged like. If a violent thought came to me, I'd like act on it kind of person.
Yeah.
And the other day at Tuesday, I'm so glad I've done the self work, but there was so much chatter in that corner.
They were being so loud.
They were
so
being
rude,
disrespectful.
dude.
It was- it's
Disrespectful
a
as
show.
fuck.
And one of those guys goes on the he goes on the podcast. He's been on the podcast before, and the other guy is a friend of our sax player.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
just-
what are you guys doing? What's your excuse?
Yeah, like what the fuck,
They should
man?
be very
They're
respectful.
should
like,
know.
you know what you should do is take your beers and your conversation into the
Yeah.
part of this whole bar.
Yeah,
that,
they're not
like,
listening to the comedy
is,
anyway.
Like,
Yeah,
made
they're
for that,
Now imagine an entire bar of that, and that's what it's like doing stand up in Little Rock.
dude.
Oh.
That's. I mean, even at Dubliners, every person that went up, I was like, dude, I can't concentrate on what they're saying
with those
because
people
like
in the corner.
there's just people
They
on
were
the side.
so chatty, yeah.
Dude, super chat. And then there was
Thankfully,
that one.
the moment
the host got
yeah.
heckled pretty
He
good.
did when they were like, "Turn the page."
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah.
made somebody laugh. I felt bad.
I did
he was
too.
Like,
I
he
was
was like,
like,
oh, finally you made somebody laugh.
No, Lucas has been handed a position that nobody else I've ever met has been in.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing stand up for a year and a half, and he's had that room for like, I don't know, 10 months. So like, imagine like in a few months if you guys got handed one of the most successful stand up open mic rooms in Omaha.
Yeah.
To where he's basically had to develop as a host and as a comic. So
Holy
it's
shit.
all of that stuff. He'll be okay. He'll bounce back. He's got kids and shit. He's, but no, yeah, they were being assholes.
They
for
were
sure.
being assholes.
They were.
As a host, you learn how to handle that.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, I mean, I just sat there. I wasn't going to say or do anything, but I did have that thought, like, you know, if I was in his position, I'd want to say something funny back and keep things light. But, like, at the same time, my heart would be beating fast, and I'd want to just
Yeah.
chuck the mic.
Well, being sober when you do it's important.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. At least off the alcohol. You know, you can smoke some weed and stuff. I've never been able to be, like, stoned and do stand-up because I want to, like, rewrite my set while I'm up there.
Every single stand-up set I've ever done, I have been as high as I could get
Oh, okay.
between getting off work and getting to that stand-up set.
You're blowing
So
down.
like, I don't know if you, I do this a lot with this, and I just like keep it there.
Yeah.
But when I get off work, it's like it's the other pen that like assumes the
scary-
position, you know,
Dude,
and it's
yeah.
just the weed pen's there until I get into quick draw.
You
And I
got
don't
all
wanna
the
smoke
tech,
weed.
bro.
Well,
You're more vape than man at this point, dude. It's crazy.
well, this is so our sponsor.
God.
dude.
Oh, there's more.
So-
How many pins you got on you, bro?
Oh, dude, here, let
Dude,
me
I have
check
like
my other
three- I have
pocket.
like three in
No,
my
this
room.
is everything.
Okay, that's all your
It's
stuff.
usually just the two. It's just the nicotine and the weed, you know.
Okay.
But I had an extra that me and my roommate can't figure out who it belongs to. This one. And I'm like, dude, it tastes weird. I've never tasted this before. This isn't mine. He's like, well, it's not mine either, dude. I swear, I would never even. But it also has these marks right here, which are like the Reese. It's fucking canine.
Oh, you have
tooth.
your own bite marks?
I have this sharp tooth right here, and that's
chew
where
on
I like.
that.
That's where I just like
Nice.
hold it.
What's
you
it
know?
like having all your canines? I wonder.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
you-
wish I had
yeah,
all
you
of them.
dick.
I have two of them.
Why are you
dude.
showing off, dude?
You got
Dude.
4. 'Cause
Oh well, these are. I guess these are.
Those are
canines.
Those are
canines.
canines.
You have all your canines?
I think so, yeah.
Do you have all your canines?
No.
Hey, I like this guy.
You ain't no dog.
Seriously, I got a tooth right here that just didn't grow in. So the funny thing about it was,
Here, come on over.
Yeah, hop in, dude.
Hop in, dude.
Well,
Mike
actually,
can't hear you.
What we
from
can
here.
do is, yeah, come on.
Wait,
come on.
what? Check the time.
Check the time. Because I think we could go to Patreon.
you're at 50 minutes.
Oh yeah, so this is a long cast at this
It is a
point.
long cast.
So-
show
I'm
your
here.
teeth. What were you
Guy, yeah, get in here.
Let me ask, could I grab a beer?
Oh, dude, do you want another mango?
I'd love a mango.
Yeah,
That was
hell
very
yeah.
I got Bush,
delicious.
but that's the only other thing.
Here,
that
I've
wasn't
had
just a
3.
lot
You
of
get the other
Zach.
3. How about?
That was all
Oh, just put it
Zach.
on the ground. We'll get it
This
later.
is also all Zach.
Now this
This
is nice.
one-
I haven't done
This is your later beer.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Of course.
I haven't done a sit-down podcast like this in a long time.
So what we
Don't
want to
be
do
afraid,
moving
but
forward
it's
is we'd like
It's
to
nice.
all be mic'd
You
up.
might-
We'd like to
yeah,
have
might
some
be.
more space.
Maybe not. No, actually, yeah.
well,
you're good
There's
back
more
there.
like
Yeah.
technology that we need to like purchase and have more of like a chill environment because this is our second podcast that
That
we've
is
You've had
very-
one before.
We've had a different
That's very
podcast
smoky.
called Between the Cheeks.
yeah,
Because
blow
of
it
the books,
directly
you know.
toward
the-
So it was between the cheeks, and our guest would always sit in between each cheek, you know.
Yeah, so you
And-
guys are the cheeks. And
But
I'm
it
sort of
was
the
very
asshole,
much
or-
EDM. We'd
No, you're
we'd
the-
ask
you're the
local and
blissful.
otherwise like music people onto the show, and it was specifically about music and about the scene and about what they do and like interviewing them and stuff. And this is just like so much more free flow. We
Yeah.
get somebody on that has something to offer an audience, that is doing something cool or is just otherwise fun to be
Yeah,
around.
our
You
friend-
know, like
Yeah.
if we
We
can't
just
get a
have our
good
friends
guest
on.
like you on, like we've had Zach on like twice now.
Yeah.
Just because we don't have another guest and like
Stormy
come on, hang out.
Jones,
You know.
Tony. Yeah,
I
we just-
saw this one guy. He had long hair. I think it was like episode 3 or something.
Tony.
Maybe 4. Yeah, man, he was funny. Like, you guys were cracking me up. I could tell you guys were longtime friends.
Yeah.
And you had like a good rapport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and that's why I don't know. It's so much more fun, and we'll
fuck are
we'll
you
switch to
doing,
the
Zach?
Patreon
What do you
soon.
want from
But
me?
real quick, we gotta
yeah,
check
we're
out.
talking about
we're
it.
talking about the
Oh
K9.
yeah, so it's actually a hereditary thing. So my dad had the same thing where he didn't have a tooth grow in right here. So what was weird about it growing up, when this like finally came out as a baby tooth, the doctors came to find out that like, hey, actually that tooth that's supposed to grow up there is sitting in a cystic like sac in your jaw. And not to like freak you out or anything, but if you just hit your jaw just the right moment, if we don't take that out, you'll shatter your entire bottom jaw. So I think I was like maybe 14 or 15. They had to like cut this entire bottom part out and then lift it
Damn.
up, get the tooth out, because obviously, it's not going anywhere. So I'd take that out, and ever since then, this has been, missing. I got another tooth up here that just
Did they
gone.
knock you out for that?
Yeah, I
bet
think I was.
they-
I was definitely out for
I
this.
bet when they
And
got
I
the
was like,
tooth,
yeah.
right before they sewed it up, they peed a little bit in your
Yeah,
mouth,
dude.
Oh, yeah.
and then
So it's to help clean it before
Yeah,
they finish
dude.
stitching it.
Ebola.
So funny thing is, like every time I've had some sort of surgery like that, I never get like that weird, terrible pain everybody gets. And I've had, probably 8 teeth filled in because they just had
Really?
cavities.
You got a nice smile.
No, dude, I appreciate it. Yeah, this one up here, that was just a really bad cavity that split in half when I was eating some nachos one day. And I was sitting at my parents' table. I was just sitting there minding my business. I think I was just having a rough day. I was just sitting there eating tacos or nachos, and I just feel this. And I shit you not, no pain or nothing. I just threw up my hands. I'm like, I look over at my mom. I'm like, Mom, I think I split my tooth. And she's like, that sucks. So I'm like, yeah, I think I need to go somewhere. She's like, well, you don't have insurance. So I went to some weird ass place that's under the bridge over by the Grand China Buffet,
Hell yeah,
off of
that's
like
how you
Dodge
know.
or
I'm
something.
gonna write that down. Actually,
Yeah,
I need
and
some
it was
tooth
like
work
this
done.
little building. You would have no idea they do anything with teeth. And apparently it's like the cheapest place to get a surgical tooth.
Is it called
removed.
One World?
No, but One World's over there by an old job I used to work.
Oh,
on
nice.
120th and I.
Okay.
But so I went there. They didn't knock me out or anything. He just shoved a fucking needle in my gums to numb me up real good. And a lot of people like hate the dentist just because of the simple like pulling and shit.
Yeah.
I was sitting there in the chair. He was basically like yanking my whole skull just to get the tooth out. And finally, when he yanked it out, I didn't feel a thing. The numbness wore off, I think, in a day or two.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you'll probably want to take some ibuprofen or Tylenol or something, because you obviously can't afford painkillers or anything. So I said, yeah, it's fine. And I think I took some Tylenol the first night, and then the whole rest of the week there's no pain. There's just a hole. And I just, no pain, no stinging sensation, nothing. Same thing with these. I had my wisdoms removed too. And I didn't take many painkillers or anything for them because I just didn't feel it.
Well, you're a lucky man.
Yeah, I'm a lucky person than everybody else. Anybody else I've known that have had some sort of dental surgery is like writhing in pain every day. And
Yeah.
they just can't fucking handle it.
Yeah. Some people
So-
can't take the heat, man.
What does your shirt say?
Oh, this? It's Wage War. It's,
I would have
some rock
never
band.
gotten to that.
No, you would. It's somewhere top box.
Speaking
top
of
box
waging
shit.
war,
So-
I think we're about to wage some war on the Patreon.
We gotta
wanna-
know. Is there anything you'd like to plug? Is there anything you'd like to say that we hadn't gotten to?
Oh,
or-
absolutely. When is this episode going to be releasing?
Next
Do you know?
Thursday.
Next Thursday. So what? The 17th.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, October 19th, we are having a show called Political Quick Draw at Emmett's Tavern at 9 p.m. It is a free show where you come out and register to vote and see Quick Draw with a little political flair to it.
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday on
I'll be
October
there.
9th. You'll be there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Come buy Zach a shot, wish him a happy birthday.
Hell yeah.
So that's in 2 days from this. If you're watching on the 17th, that's in 2 days. That's this Saturday.
Emmett's
And if
Tavern.
you're not, if you're watching any other time, every Tuesday and Sunday,
Tuesday and Sunday.
we go to the Tuesday ones a lot. The only reason I'm not at the Sunday ones is because I have a Sunday thing that I have to do every week, and I can't get into it. But 7:45 is a sign up if you are a comedian. 7:45. What are we, Central Time, right?
Yeah.
Central Standard Time.
It's like center of what? I don't know. Anyway.
Shut up, dude. So, dude, just be there at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. on Sundays.
Yeah.
Be there or be square. Tuesday, come sign up, do comedy, blow this place up. It deserves it. Shout out to Addy. Shout out to these beautiful coasters. Shout out Quick Draw. Shout out weed. Shout out beer. We're going to go get a little hanky spanky wanky on the Patreon.
Okay.
Subscribe.
Catch us on the Patreon.
$1 a month. It's with love and joy that we bring this.
It'll be the
Dude,
four of us
Fuck yeah.
jerking each other off.
I jerk.
It's about to get exclusive.